Trump administration is about to drop the hammer on the climate grift once and for all. The New York Times reporting that the EPA has drafted a plan to end its own ability to fight climate change, citing two sources. The proposed rule rescinds a 2009 declaration known as the Endangerment Finding, which scientifically established that greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane endanger human lives. So you take that out, and the EPA changes quite a bit. It also calls for rescinding limits on tailpipe emissions designed to encourage automakers to build and sell more electric vehicles. The result of this could be some pretty dramatic deregulation at EPA. Diana Furchtgott-Roth is the director of the Heritage Foundation's Energy and Climate Center. Steve Milloy is a Legal Institute Senior Fellow of Energy and Environment. Good to have you both on. Diana, this is a big move by the EPA. How big is it?
Well, it's a really big move, Rob. The endangerment finding says that CO2, water vapor, methane endanger human health and so need to be regulated by EPA. This is based on 2007 data, and it's almost 20 years later. So EPA is taking a look at new data, which do not show the same thing as the old data. The new data show that the incidence of hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires has very little to do with CO2 emissions. And a lot of EPA regulations are based on the dangers of greenhouse gases and these kinds of emissions. So saying that they do not endanger human health is going to mean that a lot of these regulations fall by the wayside and have to be reconstructed.
Steve, I mean, have we been regulating, has the EPA been regulating for all these years just based on nonsense? I mean, it's so wild to think of the money they've spent on this and for the EPA to just cut this out. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I've been fighting the junk science behind climate for almost 30 years now. Yeah, EPA has been regulating on nothing, and worse than nothing, their regulation has been illegal. The 2007 Supreme Court decision, Massachusetts versus EPA, that allowed EPA to regulate greenhouse gases was wrongly decided. The Supreme Court has a new case, West Virginia versus EPA, decided in 2022, that when the endangerment finding makes it to the Supreme Court, which it inevitably will get there, the justices will say that West Virginia versus EPA overrules Massachusetts versus EPA, and EPA won't be able to regulate greenhouse gases at all.
Won't be able to regulate greenhouse. And what will that do, Steve, staying with you, just to regulation in this country and to energy, to prices?
Well, if I'm President Trump, I would stop all expenditures and tax credits and everything that are related to climate, because the endangerment finding is the factual or scientific underpinning for the green new scam and everything climate. That goes, all of it goes.
There's the dagger right there. All right. Steve Milloy, Diana Furchtgott-Roth, good to have you both on. Thanks so much, guys. We'll follow this one for sure.
Thank you.
Great to be with you.
Thank you. After taking a plea deal to avoid